I am Detective Sherlock. Welcome my friends, to a new video for a group of puzzles. I hope you like it. Please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new things. Everyone loves detective stories, and wishes to solve crimes as the police investigate the most difficult and challenging cases. Of course, in childhood you had the idea to catch criminals and solve mysteries of mysterious crimes. Let's start. A crime was committed against George on Sunday evening, and there were 5 other people in his house: Mr. George's life partner, his chef, butler, housemaid, and gardener. They all told Detective Stevens what they were doing this evening the moment the crime against Mr. George was committed.
I am Mrs. George. I was reading a book by the fireplace.
I am gardener. I was taking care of plants in the nursery.
I am the maid. I was cleaning the dishes.
I am the chef. I was preparing breakfast. After all these conversations, I arrested the criminal. Who was he? And how did I discover it? The chef is the criminal. The crime was committed in the evening, and the chef said he was preparing breakfast. I am Detective Johnny. I was talking with the doctor in the waiting room when someone entered and shouted, "Someone has committed a crime against my partner." I asked the person to tell me everything. I was at work when the maid called me and said that something had happened to my partner, and that she was now in the intensive care unit. And I hurried to the hospital. When Mr. Clark ends the story, he is arrested for attempted crime. But how did I get to the solution of this crime? Mr. Clark supposedly knew nothing about the existence of the crime, as the maid only told him that something had happened to his partner without speaking of any crime. A crime against a millionaire took place in the front of his head at home, and I spoke to his 3 children, Jack, John, and James, who were in the house. That night me, John, and my father were at official party. When we got home, we entered the living room. My father entered first, and then John and me entered. When my father went upstairs, James entered the living room and killed my father. Yes, that what happened. I was visiting my friends that night, and when I got home my father was already dead. I understood everything. Who was the criminal? How did I solve this case? Jack and John were lying. If James had committed the crime against their father, the bullet should have hit the back of his neck, because he wanted to go upstairs. A dead body is found at the bottom of a multi-story building. It looks quite clear that the person has committed suicide by jumping off from one of the floors. A detective goes to the first floor and walks in the room facing the direction in which the body was found. He opens the closed window of that room and flips a coin towards the floor. He goes to the second floor and does the exact same thing till the last floor. Then, when he climbs down, he tells the team that it is a murder, not suicide. How does he know that? If it was a suicide and she had jumped out of the window, then how come all the windows were closed?